Hi guys, I wanted to wish you a Merry Christmas and thank you for this year and all of your support. As promised, I'm going to record a very short video for you regarding the shift process. Now this was inspired by the Circus Cycle by Ben Harvey and also by some of Dr. Demartini's work. And the thing that I notice the most about Dr. Demartini is that when he gets triggered, he works on it straight away. And I was curious to know why it is that he doesn't have these like angry outbursts or moments where he gets triggered. And sometimes, you know, it can spin others out for weeks on end. So I know that during these holidays, there may be moments where you feel triggered. So this is a little thing that you can play when you need, if you need to work through any triggers, whether it's Christmas time or not, okay? So the first thing that I'm going to do is teach it to you, and then I'm going to actually give you a prompt and cycle through it. And the acronym we're going to use is SHIFT, S-H-I-F-T, okay? So the acronym we're going to use is SHIFT. Let me just straighten this a minute. Okay, the first thing is that we want to ask ourselves, what is the story that we're telling ourselves? Why do we ask this question? Because whatever story you're telling, whether it's an empowering story or a disempowering story, is made up by you. It's completely made up by you. In fact, it's delusional. We can go so far as to say it's delusional. So if you're going to be delusional, why not make it a positive delusion? Do you know what I mean? Okay. So the second part of it is hand, okay, SH. Wherever you're feeling this feeling, when you're triggered in your body, put your hand on that part of it. The third part is the I. So that is breathing into, okay? So what does that mean? It means that we're going to be breathing into that part of our body where we are feeling triggered, okay? Where we're feeling that block, where we're feeling that unease. And we're going to be doing 3 box breaths, okay? So that means 3 in, hold for 1, 3 out, hold for 1, and we'll do it 3 times. Okay, the F stands for free. What is the free version of you, the best version of you that is free from this story, the most ultimate version of you gonna do in this scenario? What would the best free version of you think next, do next? Right? What kind of results would the very best version of you have? And finally, the T of the shift is thankful. What can you be thankful for? Okay, so when we look at this story, perhaps our first original disempowering story is something that we believed we were not good enough, worthy enough, lovable enough, supported, heard, respected. Whatever that story or that delusion was that we made up, the next version or the best version of us would know that we're always good enough, that we're always supported, we're confident, and so on and so forth. So let's get into it. So the first thing I want you to think of is something that's triggering you, or if you are triggered, you can just go ahead and use this right away. Okay. Now I'm going to ask you, what's the story that you're telling yourself? And repeat in your mind, what is the story that I have made up about this? It's only made up. The whole story is only made up by you. Next, put your hand over the area where you feel it mostly in your body. Okay. Third, let's start to breathe into this block, this energy that you're feeling in your body, okay? keeping your hand there, I want you to say, what would the free version of me do? What would the ultimate version of me be thinking and doing next? And finally, I want you to go ahead and be thankful. Be thankful for that old event, that old story, that old trigger, for what it enabled you to learn and become. Now, the reason we call it shift is because you may need to do this a few times in order to get the shift. Okay, so let me guide you through it a few cycles, and then however many you need, you just replaying it. Okay, all right. So first of all, you can work on the same story or a new one. Sometimes some stories are so strong you may need 4, 5, 10 cycles to shift it fully. Okay, and you may notice that your hand is also moving in different directions of your body as it comes out. All right, so go ahead. What is the story that you have been telling yourself? Remind yourself this is all a story that you've made up. Or tell yourself in your mind, I made this entire story up myself. Next, go ahead and place your hand where you feel the block the most, and you may have noticed it's already shifted. Start to breathe into it with 3 box breaths. Now ask yourself, what would the free version of me do here? The free version that has not got these thoughts or these things that are keeping me stuck. What would the best ultimate version of me think next and do next? And finally, what can I be thankful for having had this old situation? Okay, just once more, I'll step you through. What is the story that you're telling yourself? Remind yourself this entire story has been made up by me. Put your hand where you feel it most, and you may have noticed it's actually shifted. Go ahead and breathe in. Hold. What would the free version of you do now? The best version, the ultimate version of you. What would you be thinking and doing next? Let's be thankful. What has this old block enabled you to now be thankful for? And one final cycle. What is the story that you're telling yourself that you've made up? Tell yourself, this entire story was made up by me. Now go ahead and put your hand where you feel it the most, and you may have noticed that it's shifted. Let's breathe into it. What would the free version of you do? think next? What would the best version of you do? What can you now be thankful for? You can repeat this as many times as you want. You will notice that old sensation starts to leave your body. So just wanted to drop this video for you, and I look forward to seeing you soon.